let's go to season 3, episode 4, some show called The Simpsons.
Okay.
The emergence and the inception and the arrival of Fat Tony in Springfield.
Yeah, Fat
How
Tony.
did that character get created, and how much of that is you improving, and talk about what it's like doing an episode of The Simpsons, the table reading, the whole process of that, because I've heard it's fantastic.
Well, I mean, it really is. I mean, I got lucky in that it was early on. It was, I think part of it, the reason they probably thought of me for that character was the film Godfather 3 had just come out in December of the year before. This was like February, like 2 months later. And they wanted to introduce this gangster character, and they thought, well, who better maybe to get than the guy who was the main gangster in this Godfather movie. So they called me, and I wasn't even familiar with The Simpsons at the time. But
You
I looked
weren't?
no, I wasn't. I wasn't really privy to those first couple seasons, but I looked them up and thought, oh, this is really fun. This is kind of cute. I mean, you know, I have daughters, so I mean, they were more into like, you know, American Girl dolls and stuff.
Of course.
So I said, of course I'll do it. And I did it. I remember showing up, and at that time they were shooting it in the basement at Fox. They were like, they were very low on the totem pole as a show. So I mean, they had like a circle of music stands, and we all stood in a semicircle and read our lines. And when I was about to start, they weren't actually giving me any direction in terms of what to do, how to do it. And I thought, well, I don't want to sound like Joey Zaza, the character from Godfather 3, and I don't want to sound like me. So I thought to myself, who I drew upon was I had an Uncle Willie, God bless him, who's been like a father figure for a big part of my life. And due to having a bout with throat cancer years before, my Uncle Willie talked like this.
Oh, my.
So I thought to myself, I think this is the voice that I might try to use.
You perfected.
So I started doing the first lines as the character with this voice. And nobody stopped me. You know, the director didn't say, well, wait a minute, what are you doing here? So I just kept at it and thought, all right, I guess they're buying it, so I'll just do it. We did it, we shot the episode, done, thank you, sounds like fun, I can't wait for it to come out, I'll look for it. Little did I know that they would come back to me some months later and say, you know, we kind of like how that came out, maybe, would you do another one? Yeah, of course I'll do another one. Well, that was 30 years ago. I just did a read-through a couple of weeks ago for my next episode. I've been doing it for 30 years. And all I can say is when you're able to do that table read, like in other words, when we all get together, now of course, they're not in the basement anymore. They have the Marge Simpson building. I mean, they have their own sound stage.
It's a prize they give away on game shows. You can go and watch,
Oh,
or if
yeah.
you win, you can watch a reading
Exactly,
of The Simpsons.
and it's the best show in town.
Absolutely.
Because you go and you get to see all the actors in there and around the table.
Right.
And you get to see it live, and that's a rare thing because now we don't all have to be there to record. You can record your stuff separately. So to hear everybody in one room do it, that's a real thrill. So that's my longest running character is Fat Tony on The Simpsons, and I'm still doing it, and hope to keep doing it.
Some of the memorable lines of Fat Tony are, Bart, is it wrong to steal a loaf of bread to feed your family? Let's say you got a really big family. Let's say your family don't like bread. Let's say they like cigarettes. Is that your Uncle Willie? Did you add that humor?
Well, Uncle Willie was anybody who knew Uncle Willie knew that, yeah, he was one of a kind, and there's a certain, he could have very well been the guy to deliver those lines. So it all worked out, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of Uncle Willie and Fat Tony. And this next episode is actually a big Fat Tony episode, so I'm looking
Oh, really?
forward.
Can you give us a little sneak peek of?
Well, let's put,
Is he on a diet?
I'll give you a sneak peek.
Okay.
The sneak peek is, the little baby, Maggie never was baptized, which means Maggie, so that's all I got to say.
Holy cow, Godfather flashbacks.
We'll
Godfather
see.
meets
We'll see.
Springfield.
We'll see.
Amazing, amazing.